What's going on YouTube? My name is Rob A, and welcome to another NERFtorial, Nerf painting and customizing tutorial. Today we are going to be doing the Nerf STRYFE. It's part of the N-Strike series, and it's motorized, so I'm a little bit concerned. I've never actually opened one of these up before. I don't know if it's going to be a nightmare to actually get apart, but we'll find out together. Now, this is actually a commissioned piece that I'm doing for someone else, so I'm going to be super careful with this one. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and get this guy out of the package first. I want to hold on to the packaging because I'm going to be reusing that, so it'll just take me a moment, and then when we come back, we're going to start taking this guy apart and checking out the internals. So make sure you've got a screwdriver of the appropriate size, and let me make sure I've actually got appropriate sized screwdrivers. I had them just a second ago. I don't know where I put it, but I'll get it during the break. And that's pretty much all we're going to need to start with. Also, you may want a little Ziploc baggie. Is always a good idea to have on hand. Usually the quart size will do just fine, but you want to make sure you have something to put the screws and various bits and bobs that come out of the Nerf blaster into something safe, so you won't lose them. So I'm going to go ahead and get this guy out of the package, and then we'll start disassembly. So I'll see you guys in just a minute. Alright guys, so we have the Nerf STRYFE out of its package, escaped from its cardboardy prison, and here we go. I'm not entirely sure, to be honest with you, what kind of paint scheme I'm going to be doing for this, and it's probably going to end up being just the usual. I do like the black and bronze color scheme. I think it looks well. It has a nice kind of striking appearance to it. I'm not going to be sanding off the Nerf logo or the STRYFE lettering. You can do that if you want to. You can just get, like a little block sander, or actually, in this case, you could do like a little piece of model sanding for the lettering up here. Or if you have a Dremel tool, you can just use like the sanding wheel on that and just kind of, go at it until it starts to not be there anymore. You can see it works. It goes pretty quickly. But in this case, other than that little bit I did just to kind of show that, I'm not really going to do that. I am going to remove this white paint because, especially since a lot of times when I do these videos, I forget to take the paint off underneath. Like I'm too involved in making the video and kind of moving it along that, I may let a little detail slip now and then. And if you leave this paint on, you can see this really like super glossy white paint they have here. If you leave that on, it can really ruin your paint job over top of it. So I'm going to try and remember to remove that. In the meantime, we're going to take a look at what's underneath the battery box cover. Quickie quick. And that'll determine whether or not we want to, I think how we're going to do this... Oh, it's even power up with Duracell. It's a product placement. I think how we're going to do this is we're just going to kind of paint this with the battery box cover on. That seems like it's going to be a lot easier. And when you screw the battery box cover back down, don't tighten it all the way. You want to have it a little bit looser, just in case the screw gets a little bit paint stuck if you paint over it, just so you don't have any problems there. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and release the clip, and I probably won't take this apart to paint it, so we'll just leave that hole and put it off to the side for right now. And then we're just going to grab our thin screwdriver. This one's getting a little bit chewed up, as you can see, a little bit worn out. And in fact, it's not even going to fit in there. So let me get my other screwdriver. There we go, my other thin screwdriver. And we're just going to start popping these screws out. Now I actually went and got a snack size baggie for the screws. I know before I mentioned quart size bags, and that's still good. That's still good for all the internals and stuff. But these snack size bags are really good for the outside body screws, so that you don't get them lost or don't get them mixed up with other screws that may be, you know, inside the blaster. And you just want to, you know, unscrew all the screws, just all the way around. I don't think you guys necessarily need to watch this, so I'm going to go ahead and stop the recording and just get these screws all taken out. So, see you in just a moment. Alright guys, so we now have all of our screws in this little snack bag, so we're just going to seal that up and pop it off to the side. And we're going to see what we're dealing with inside this guy here. And I have not yet, I didn't peek, so we're going to be learning together what we're going to be dealing with. So you just want to kind of gently as you can, pry this open, because if there's any screws in, or springs rather, inside, you don't want to risk having them detach and go flying off into the sunset. Oop. So there's that, whatever that was. Is this, where does this go? And instantly I'm confused, because something came out that I'm not sure where it lives. Maybe here? Ah, there we go. Okay, so this goes right here. Is this separate piece on both sides? Yes, it is. It's a separate piece on both sides. That is actually quite good to know. So here's what we're dealing with inside. And I'm hoping, really hoping, that this wants to just come along quietly and not give me any trouble. And to be quite honest, we should not have really any problems here, from what I'm seeing. All of the wiring is all really nicely set in. There's even like a, oh, you guys can't see any of this. Oh man, alright. Anyway, as I was saying, all the wiring is behind this little screwed in panel back here. You can kind of see, so there's really nothing out here or in here that's really going to cause a problem. So we'll pop off the jam door here, and we'll just put that off to the side. We'll pop out these two separate halves, which I think we're going to actually have to pop the barrel itself out first. So we'll take out this little white bit, the little clip piece, and we'll do the same on the handle. Just pop that right out. We're going to take this guy, put it off to the side. Make sure you're careful when grabbing the clips for the rails, because they have these tiny little springs that like to fire off in all directions when you pop them out. So just be very careful about taking those off. And in fact, you may even want to add these to your outside screws, just because they are so small. They'll be a lot easier to find with the outside screws. There you go. So pop those there. We get these guys just put off to the side for painting. And then I would just want to see what we're dealing with here. It looks like this whole barrel is like one solid piece. So here's what we're going to do. We're actually going to unscrew the flywheel assembly. But we're not going to remove it. We're just going to unscrew it. And I've instantly lost my screwdriver. There we go. So we're just going to pop this off just for a moment. the painting the flywheel assembly, or painting the blaster with the flywheel assembly attached, should not be an issue. I've done it many times before with no problems, so I'm not foreseeing any issues here. And just like that, the barrel just comes off very nicely, and you can even pop this piece out if you so desire, and I'll probably pop that out and paint it separately. As a matter of fact, it's got the grooving inside. So we've got that going on, and then you're just gonna screw the flywheel assembly back down. You can leave it a little bit loose if you want to, but that's fine. Because we're going to be taking it up again when we reassemble this whole thing. Now this came out. Whoop. See, now I'm starting to get a little bit worried here. I see pieces that I don't necessarily know where they came from. That's never a good thing. Were you in here? I don't know where you came from. I have a feeling I'm gonna have to look this up, because I'm not sure where this piece is supposed to go, and I just found it kind of loose inside the blaster, which is never a good sign. So give me a second, let me look this up. Okay guys, we got it all sorted out. The piece goes just like this and points outward. It's just a very awkward kind of placement, so it didn't look like it fit naturally, so I was a bit taken aback. This and the spring that is on it doesn't want to stay on it, are going to go in our big old bag of internal pieces. This is not going to get painted, and I just want it out of my hair and safely away as quickly as possible. Oh boy. Alright, so the next thing we want to do is we just want to get the triggers and things like that out of the way. And this trigger system looks pretty much exactly like the Demolisher internals. So we're just going to take this one screw out, like so. Okay, I'm just going to put it right here for the moment. We're going to grab these screws as well. Can we do it just like that? Yeah. So we're just going to pop the trigger out like so, and we're just going to put these screws right back, because the less stuff we have to actually take out, the better off we will be. And we can screw it in. We don't have to tighten it all the way down, just enough to kind of keep it all together, so we just don't lose any pieces, because that's the last thing we want. We still want a fully functioning Nerf blaster when all this is said and done. So we're going to pop this screw out. There we go. Alright, well, alright, that's fine. We're just gonna, there we go. Pop that back on. And this one should come out without a problem. Just be gentle with it, and it's going to have the spring attached as well, and put that in our bag of internals. And thankfully, it looks like we don't have too many internals to actually keep separately in this guy. It looks like the majority of this stuff can all stay right where it's at, which is a lovely, lovely thing. So I'm very happy, very happy to see this is the case. And this should be pretty simple to paint. And if you'd like to, you can also take some masking tape and just tape over the flywheel here, and just tape over the exposed electronics just so they don't get covered, you know, with paint and maybe does something to their working capabilities. Shouldn't be a problem, but you know, you always want to stay on the safe side with stuff like this. But in any case, we've got our main body pieces here. Next, we're going to go ahead and take care of the existing paint that is on the blaster here. This paint should be fine, like this gray, but we definitely want to get rid of this white paint because that's going to cause major issues down the line. But so that is what we're going to do next. Okay guys, so this is the part of the show where we try something new. We try just adapting. So I tried to get the white paint removed, and I used mineral spirits, which normally works fine. I used acetone, nail polish remover, and then finally I just resorted to the old sandpaper block. Because nothing else was working. I was letting it sit for a good 15-20 minutes at a stretch, and it just wasn't doing anything. So instead, we're just going to do it the old-fashioned way. So you can get a sandpaper block anywhere, or just go get a scrap of sandpaper. It doesn't have to be a block. This might actually be more cumbersome than is necessary. But I'm not even going to try and get all of the white paint off. My goal here is to just get the majority off so that it doesn't have that gloss finish anymore, and the paint will adhere to it a little bit better. That's my goal right now. So if you guys want to, you know, continue on until the paint is completely removed, that's absolutely fine. That may be the better of the options, but this is what I'm going with. I'm just going to try and get these cleared off as much as possible, and then just get the excess dust out of the cracks and things like that. So that's kind of where I'm at. I'm going to do the other side here as well. This will be a little more interesting because it's got more angles for sure. There we go, that's going completely. And yeah, basically that's what I'm going to be doing for the next few minutes, is just sanding this all down like so. And that shouldn't be too difficult. As you can see, it's not taking forever. It's pretty straightforward. It just requires a little bit of elbow grease, that's all. And just try and do it without my table rocking back and forth. This is kind of why I like the sanding block, because you can kind of get in under these little details because of the you know, the sharp edges on this thing. There we go. I'm gonna just do this. Also, guys, please make sure you're wearing proper facial attire when you're doing stuff like this. I mean, safety goggles are awesome. I know it's not fun to wear safety goggles, but seriously, as you know, when you get like paint paint debris in your eyeball, you're gonna really wish you had those safety goggles on. Like, seriously, they're not expensive. You can get them at any hardware store. You probably even could get them at like Walmart or Target in the home improvement department. And for projects like this where you're doing sanding, you may even want to consider like a dust mask, just to keep all this out of your lungs, because it's not cool to breathe all that crap in. Just saying. You know, Norm Abrams told everybody how safety, you know how to do proper safety. I feel I have to do the same. Alright, so anyway, I'm just going to keep kind of sanding this down till it looks basically like this. I'm not going to go crazy with it, but enough to get the majority off. Then I'm just going to wipe it down with a cloth, maybe go at it with some canned air, just get all the dust particles out of the cracks and crevices. And in the next episode, we're going to start putting our base coat on and getting all the base painting done on these, all the body pieces and things like that. I've decided to do this in separate videos because a lot of you were complaining that the other tutorial, the NERFtorials that were all one stretch, were just too long, and that's fine. I'm going to put these all in a playlist, so hopefully they're easier to find. So hopefully you guys will have no problem with that. But in the meantime, stay tuned, stay subscribed, and keep an eye out for the next video. Should be coming in the next day or so. I'm going to get these out as quickly as I can, and hopefully get this project well underway. But in the meantime, thank you guys so very much for watching. I really do appreciate it. I'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.